On Wednesday, Kim Jong Un met Russian President Vladimir Putin, and Kim vowed full and unconditional support for Russia's Vladimir Putin, making an apparent reference to the war in Ukraine. Well, this summit was being seen as a deal to supply weapons to Russia amidst the war with Ukraine by North Korea. In the past, US officials have repeatedly warned that North Korea was shipping artillery shells and rockets for Russian use in Ukraine to the Russian mercenary group Wagner. Both Russian and North Korean officials have denied such claims. They fear that if the two sides do reach an agreement, they may never announce it. It is believed that North Korea has an abundance stockpiles of aging ammunition and rockets for Soviet-era weapons. Both of their leaders met at Vostochny Spaceport, Russia's most important satellite launch center. It shows that Kim is seeking Russian help in developing the military intelligence satellites to enhance the threat of his nuclear-capable missiles. North Korea has repeatedly failed to put its first military spy satellite into the orbit. Both leaders also discussed Russian help for the secretive Communist State satellite program. The summit between President Vladimir V. Putin of Russia and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un signaled a potential new era in relations between Moscow and Pyongyang. If Russia and North Korea would make an arms deal, it would be a direct violation of the Security Council's ban on all arms-related material transactions with North Korea or be involved in development of technology that could be used in North Korea's ballistic missile programs. These resolutions were passed with Russian support. They also prohibit any scientific and technical cooperation with North Korea in nuclear and science and technology, aerospace and aeronautical engineering and technology, or advanced manufacturing production techniques and methods. Mr. Kim, who is deeply reliant on China, has found opportunities in the deepening rivalry between China and the United States, and in Russia's war in Ukraine. Although North Korea and China have called their relations as close as lips and teeth, Mr. Kim has tried to lessen Beijing's influence on his country by finding new sources of trade. Russia, which shares a small border with North Korea, is one possible alternative. But Mr. Putin, needing Chinese support, has to be careful to not cross Beijing. North Korea faces critical technical hurdles in its efforts to build intercontinental ballistic missile submarines, military satellites, and anti-missile defense system, all areas where it could benefit immensely from Russian technology. Where Mr. Kim said last week that his country was building a nuclear-propelled submarine. The program was based on expectations that North Korea would get technological support from Russia. Speculation about their military cooperation grew after the Russian defense minister visited North Korea in July. Kim subsequently toured his weapon factories, which experts said had the dual goal of encouraging the modernization of North Korean weaponry and examining artillery and other supplies that could be exported to Russia. The Kim-Putin summit was not just a meeting of minds or an opportunity to exchange small gifts, but a demonstration that the two pariah states need each other more than ever. Russia is eager for ammunition to continue fighting in Ukraine, while North Korea wants Moscow's help to develop its missile and space program and modernize its air force and navy to rival those of its fair wealthier neighbor South Korea. However, some analysts have questioned whether Russia, which has always closely guarded its sensitive weapon technologies, would be willing to share them with North Korea in exchange for what may end up being limited supplies of ammunitions. Both of these countries face international isolation, Moscow for its invasion of Ukraine and Pyongyang for its nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs. These two nations are now using the method of strategic uncertainty to unnerve the West.